How is it like being the CEO of a giant in the industry? This is Mission at Night, no bullshit business. Hi, welcome to Mission at Night. Here we uncover the no bullshit stories from successful individuals and ignite your dream to success. Today's guest is not just a man that climbed the corporate ladder. In fact, he was an entrepreneur himself before going to the corporate and going back to entrepreneurship. So with over 30 years of experience, they have faced dragons in the form of market downturns, navigate through the maze of corporate challenges as well as entrepreneurship challenges, and emerge right on the top. Without further ado, let's welcome a man who insured not just assets, but also the future of many, Patrick Teow. Welcome, Patrick, to our podcast.
Hi.
So, Patrick, I understand that you have over 35 years, right, of experience in the insurance industry. Maybe can you share with us, right, with our listeners, right, some brief introduction about yourself and your journey?
Sure. Well, I started my career right out from national service, and I was straight into life insurance actually. So this is my one and only career in life insurance, So I started as an agent, rose through the ranks to become a unit manager, a group director. Then somewhere in 2009, I decided to leave the entrepreneur world, sold off my agency, and went to the corporate world. So I became Prudential's Chief Distribution Officer. And then from there, I advanced to Regional Chief Agency Officer for Prudential, headhunted by AIA then, to move to another competitor, become the CEO of a group agency. And finally, my last destination was AIA Singapore CEO. So actually, I rose from the rank from agent and end off my career as a CEO.
So you did both sides, right? The agent side and the corporate side.
Right.
Like, what drew you to insurance?
What drew me insurance? Actually, you can be divine intervention or by accident. Actually, I actually replied to an advertisement. Okay, newspaper advertisement. Right. I didn't know that it was insurance. It advertised as a financial sales. So I went for the interview. When I went there, I said, "Oh my God, it's an insurance company." Well, I can do two things. One is turn around and walk away. And the other one was to be open-minded and say, hey, see what's in store. No harm knowing, right?
Yeah.
So I went for the interview, and actually through the presentation, I discovered it resonates with my life purpose. My life purpose at that time when I was young was trying to do good. I feel that whatever I do, I must do good. So when I hear more about what life insurance can do, I feel that the product actually helps people. So that passed one point. Then the second consideration was it a good opportunity for me to become as big as I want? So being in the insurance field, I feel that it's an entrepreneurial environment. So it's check out number two. My most important point is that I want to be as successful as I can be, no limitations. So it resonates. So that's what drew me into the insurance business. Firstly, to do well and to do good.
So you were there, right? Doing insurance for 25 years. 24 to 25 years, thereabout.
Entrepreneur, yes.
Entrepreneur lah.
Yes.
Then what makes you leave and solve the whole thing and go to corporate?
Good question. I guess after 24 years, what I find was I've been there, done that, and doing the same thing day in, day out. I need new challenges to stimulate me. So I'm also a person that told myself that I must not stay in the comfort zone.
Okay.
Because as a group director, you're doing well. You just do the same thing, recruit people, train people, and make them successful. But I was thinking, what else is there?
Right.
And of course, there's a lot of solicitation by the corporate side. They've been talking to me for many years.
Yes.
Asking me to go over and help them in the corporate side. So, and that's one point that a lot of people ask me, how come? And my question is always, when you are doing well, you attract a lot of opportunity. Yeah, so in the entrepreneurial world, I was always one of the top winners, award winners. So I get to mingle around with a lot of corporate people, and they always ask, maybe I can use a talent like you over this side. And many CEOs have been trying to coerce me over. I always say no. Yeah, but I don't know why, somewhere in 2009, during the financial crisis, I decided, okay, it's about time that I let go the entrepreneurial world and venture in the corporate world.
I see. So it's quite rare, and I heard because most of our viewers out there, right, the typical route is always the corporate route,
right?
Then after the entrepreneur route,
sure.
Right? And more often than not, they are worried to step out. But you took a totally opposite turn. 20 over years in the entrepreneurship world, and then to the corporate world.
Yes.
Were there any lessons that you drawn from the entrepreneurship world that you bring over to the corporate side actually?
Of course, as an entrepreneur, you are can-do spirit. But when you go to corporate world, you find that a lot of people, it's not that they cannot do, they are scared to do. Why? Because they don't want to rock the boat.
I see.
Everything must, stay under the radar.
Smooth, stable.
Yeah, so they don't want to be stick their neck out too much. Because sometimes they are scared it will be chopped off. Yeah,
if they do something, they do a mistake and then say you're gone, right? You're fired.
So they play it very safe. Whereas an entrepreneur takes risks.
Right.
Right. We take risks in order to grow. And I always say that to be a good leader, you must have both the corporate discipline as well as entrepreneur spirit.
I see.
Yeah. So when I went to the corporate, actually, all the head honchos or the bosses of the corporate, they were a bit hesitant. Because I had to go through so many interviews,
How many interviews you went through, man? I mean, for normally...
At least 3, because it got to go all the way to group and regional CEO to interview me, right? You are coming in as quite a high position, right? You're distributor officer, So the fear that they have was that I was too gung-ho. Maybe I don't know how to draw or stay in the framework of corporate.
Okay.
They were afraid of that because I'm so used to, if that's what I want to do, I just do.
Just go for it.
Yeah, just go for it. Yeah. But it was a very interesting interview that I had with one of the regional CEO, and he told me this, Patrick, the reason why we wanted you on board is because we want you to come and change things. Please don't let the environment change you. Please change the environment.
So you were a game changer there.
Yeah. So that excites me. So I'm coming in to change something. I'll come in to improve things.
Right.
And that was maybe the icing on the cake. It motivated me and give me the courage to let go of my known to go into the world of unknown. Right? Yeah, because in the entrepreneurial world, I was the boss, right?
Yes.
Now I'm working for other people, right?
Different, you have a reporting line. You can't go for 3 o'clock coffee break.
Correct.
Yeah.
But there's one constant factor.
Yes.
And the constant factor, if you do good and you add value, I think you don't have to worry.
I see. So that say, most of us are very curious, for big MNCs like this, right? Yes. How is it like, right, in a typical day of a CEO?
Wow. Typical day. First and foremost, plentiful of meetings. Okay. I think that time when I was a CEO, there's 12 departments.
Okay.
12, so many departments, right? Yeah. So the amount of meetings after meetings, back-to-back meetings, actually and assume your whole day already. It's a lot of meetings, But the meetings are for discussions, brainstorming, sometimes firefighting, sometimes more strategic. Yeah. But that's when you come together and see how to build the organization or the company up. Yeah. And after that, of course, give them guidance, direction, and the execution is done by the team. Yeah. So the typical day of a CEO, everybody wants your time. Okay, so you are busy back to back, having a lot of meetings, giving advice, giving decisions, pushing people along.
Right.
Yeah, this is what the CEO does. So it's a very busy day.
So I heard that CEOs right will only reply emails at 2 a.m. because that's the only time that they are free back at home. Is it true?
I don't think so.
So you don't reply at 2 a.m.?
No, I don't. I know of CEOs that work throughout 24/7.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah. But I think we need our rest lah. But we do work very long hours.
Right.
Yeah, definitely not the typical. You're talking about 8 to 5. No way lah. I think we work at least 8 to 11 or 12. Go back, quickly rest. Next day, start again at 8. That type of thing. The intensity of the work is definitely much more than the entrepreneurial. If you ask me, between my agency days versus the corporate days, the corporate days time is so critical.
Yeah.
And so many things are being done in the day. Yeah.
So here I must ask, because you've been through both sides.
Yeah.
Right? Which is more worthwhile?
I can't answer the question. Because both sides has its benefits, risks and rewards. Both have its benefits. Entrepreneur side, you have a lot of like control, freedom. You can be as successful as you want. And everything is up to you, right? In the corporate world, of course, you're trying to do something exceptional because it's a big organization. Give you an example like AIA Singapore, right? You're talking about 1,000 staff, about 5,000 agents, salespeople, and you're talking about 1 to 2 million customers.
Yeah.
So of course you get busy serving all these people, making sure that the people issues are resolved, making sure the business are done and company is running, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it has its also challenges, but the satisfaction is you do well and you see the company grow and you see people grow.
So I heard a few things, talk about doing things that are meaningful, talk about, see people grow. So let's say in you being in a leadership position, what are some key principles, right, that actually hold you throughout that career? Whether is it corporate or entrepreneur? Or are there different sets?
Wow. I think it's about the same sets. Yeah, it's about same. I recall whenever I recruit people, they ask me, I'm looking for talented people to join when I was an agency leader, right? They always ask me what it takes to make it. And I always say, you must have a lot of D and Ps. Okay. Then they will always look at me and say, what are D and Ps? I say, okay, let's start with this. D, right? D is you have a desire.
Okay.
Drive, determination, discipline. All the Ds.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Then what's the P? Okay. Perseverance, patience, persistence. All this, right? All the Ps. So when you go to the corporate world, do you exercise all this? Yes, you still do. You must be very determined, very disciplined, persistent, and you must have strong desire for you to achieve your corporate goals or your whatever goals that been handed down to you, right?
Yes.
So all this comes from your internal strength, and all the deep and peace must be there.
Right.
Yeah. So leadership is all about having those, and so being so positive, you become more like a radiant of light, no?
I see.
Showing all the D's and P's as a role model, right? Then people tend to follow you. Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. Let's move out a little bit because before we come back to that, in fact, I have a lot of questions to that, right?
Yeah.
But that will be another hole that we'll go in, which I will address a bit later on.
Okay.
But now, right, with you having been through both sides, the entrepreneur side as well as corporate side, I would like to ask you, right, because for the insurance industry, most of us are very familiar with it, right? It's a very known thing. Everybody buys it, most of us, right? How do you think that the insurance industry has evolved over the years, right? And actually, where do you see it heading next?
Wow, that's like looking into a crystal ball.
Yeah.
I can say that the whole industry has shifted a lot. I recall when I joined the industry, it was only a multi-million-dollar business. Today, after 30 over years, the industry is a billion-dollar business, multi-billion-dollar business.
Right.
So I would say that, of course, the wealth of the nation has gone up a lot, but at the same time, I think people appreciate this product much more. They know the importance of it, right? So when you look at how it has evolved, products are now more sophisticated, more complex because of they are trying to do as many things for the customer as possible.
Okay.
And customer expectation needs also changing.
I see.
With all the education, information, and financial literacy things that are going on, I think people are more aware the importance of financial planning. So their demands has gone up. So the product changes, more complex, more innovative. Demand of customers' expectation all go up, right? Regulations also are tightened, making more difficult or tougher to get into this line, and you must follow a lot of other things. And digitalization also plays a big part.
Right.
Everybody is using digital to serve the customer better and reach out the customer more. So with a combination of all these factors, you can see that it will keep on going, this trend. And I don't see it going downwards. It's just going to be going upwards. So the key for anyone, whether insurer or insurance agent, is you got to keep on asking yourself this big question: how can I better serve my customer?
Right.
With all this infrastructure in place. Digital, better products, more sophistication. How do you add value? It's always the question I always say, how do you add value? And that's when opportunity will come.
I see. So I think that's it, right? Because it's just rare to have someone at the insurance side, both sides, right? To sit on this chair, right? Since I think the opportunity, right? Because there's many misconceptions about the insurance industry. Is there anything about that you'd like to address? Any misconception that you'd like to address while we had a bit of time?
Okay. I think that I hope if you talk about misconception, I hope the stigma of insurance will disappear. Like we always joke about it. When somebody introduces, I'm an insurance agent, suddenly you feel that, wow, that should disappear. Because the product is actually a very good product. It's your safety net for life. It's like a safety net, right? I always tell people, it's like keeping a spare tire on a car just in case. Having a life boy in a ship just in case. Right. So insurance is something that you must protect yourself just in case. Right. So why are you so fearful of the product or the people selling it? You shouldn't. Actually, you should embrace it and remove the stigma and say, how can I better handle my risks for my family as well as for myself? And that should be part and parcel of more education and more awareness. So I look at insurance agents, I think they are doing a noble job. And they are bracing a lot of rejection and just to make sure that you're well protected. Sometimes people must see this picture. I hope.
Well, to all the viewers out there you go. Right? Hopefully this misconception will actually move away one day.
Yes,
in fact, the Asian misconception about this is quite huge, right? Compared to the Westerns. Right? The Westerns are much more embracing to this.
Right.
But I heard, I think in the US or something, a financial consultant without selling any products will earn you 6 digits a year easily.
Of course.
But it's not like Asia where we are,
slowly but surely, I hope it will happen. You happen.
There you go. For those that are thinking of this career, there's an opportunity there, right? You can make big. So now back to you, right? Into your own personal goal. So you left AIA, right? And you start off a company of your own, right? Now recently? As a co-founder recently, right? Best of me.
Co-founder. Okay,
co-founder. Okay. How did that come about?
Okay. That was because of the other founder, I changed his name. So she was looking at what can we do that will impact people. And we wanted to give back to society in some way. And I believe also with so many years of experience, there is wisdom that we hope that can be transferable.
Definitely.
So we look at a lot of things and we feel that coaching, mentoring, training is one of the important things that's a new trend. If you look at a Western world like US and UK, coaching is the in thing. Anybody that wants to do well in life or sports or anything, they find a coach. Asia is slowly but surely coming along. I see more traction now, but the trend is slowly developing. But maybe we are ahead of the game a little bit. But I feel that coaches will help people become the best version of themselves. And sometimes you need somebody to be like a guiding beacon.
Right.
Yeah.
But coaching it's hard because it's a very individual thing.
Right.
Each person have a different set of problems, right? So I need to ask you again, right? What's the hardest issue you have faced, right, with coaching to anyone?
I think the most important element in this coaching relationship is the coachee must be ready.
Right.
Yeah. Because if you keep on talking and coaching, right, but the person doesn't have any action plan or don't do any changes, then nothing will happen. But we have seen a lot of cases where we coach somebody, we pinpoint what can they do, small steps in order to become a better individual, and they take the necessary step.
Yep.
You can see a lot of transformation.
I see.
Yeah, that's how you help people. Yeah. But the onus is on the coachee. Whether with new information, new perspective, what are you going to do with it? Yeah.
So with that said, right, but how do you actually balance the immediate action, right, with the long-term vision during whether it's coaching or whether it's as an entrepreneur?
I think the long-term vision that you have, I do call it a big dream that you have. Yeah. It cannot be done in a month, 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
So when we do coaching, we give you more closer checkpoints, but eventually those checkpoints will lead you slowly towards your big goal.
I see.
Yeah. So just like in an organization, you have big goals of 3 to 5 years, what you want to achieve, right? But that is more like a North Star.
Right.
Your North Star, your true North. But what you do every day, every month, every year will eventually lead you there. So you must take care of your immediate checkpoints in order for you to journey to the 5-year goal. Right? I like to have long-term vision because sometimes short-term failures and short-term frustration will not irritate you because you still have your long-term vision. You just need to overcome it.
Right.
Yeah, but if you only have short-term goals, then the short-term failures and frustration will affect you.
Yes.
Because it's too short-term.
Yeah.
So you need something further that motivates you to keep going.
Yeah.
Right? So whenever we have a goal, it's always 3 to 5 years. But we act on the immediate goal.
Immediate goal first. So it's a stepping stone towards the long vision.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, and that's what keep you going so that you know that, okay, I'm going to reach there in 5 years. Along the way, I'm going to have ups and downs. Just go through the challenges, go through the obstacles and move on.
So we talk about challenges, we talk about obstacles, right? So you've been through technically a few phases, but 3 distinct ones, the entrepreneur, corporate, and now back to entrepreneur.
Yes.
Right? Are there any obstacle, roadblock, right, that you think that actually help? Because to our viewers out there, prior before this podcast, when me and Patrick had this conversation, Patrick was saying, you're going to ask me about roadblock? I do roadblock very fast. It's here. I did it.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe we want to hear from the viewers out there, right? Is that actually, is there any roadblocks? And I know you don't see roadblocks as roadblocks, you see them as stepping stones, right? Maybe share with our viewers, how do you deal with that?
Actually, when you look at things and tasks, all this can be solved, right? Normally, when you go through challenges and setbacks, it's always the people problem that takes longer. People's behavior, when we talk about success, right? It's all about strategy and execution.
Yes.
Right? So strategy, anybody can draw the blueprint.
Yeah.
But execution, you need a good team of people to execute. So problems are problems that can always be resolved with money, with technical skills or anything. Like task is task. But always the people is the one that you take a bit longer to resolve, right?
Would you say that's the most key element for anything to happen?
Any organization that got good, talented people inside most likely will be a very successful organization. Yeah. But just like a football team, you got 11 good players, chances are you win championship. You got 11 so-so players, I think you very hard time lah.
Chances are slimmer.
Yeah, right. That's a fact lah. Yeah. So when I look at this issue, your question you're asking, right? Challenges, right? I think for us with experience, we look at this, so minor. Move on lah. Yeah, because when you go through a lot of hard times in your career, and every time you overcome, it's like muscle building.
Yeah.
Your resilience ratio index becomes stronger. So that next time you face another small problem, you look at it, that's a small thing, like just brush it off, move on.
I see.
Nothing, no big deal.
You know, it's a mentality facing the problems.
Yeah, mindset. It's all your mindset, right? So when you look at this, what's the big deal? So I get criticized often when I'm running a big company like as a CEO. When they present a problem, I say, like that only. Because to me, it's like so small.
Yes, okay.
Can easily be overcome. But when they look at it, maybe that's the biggest problem they have faced before.
Right.
All right. So their resilience or their capacity to overcome this is more shallow.
I see.
Yeah, so that's why for me, I think that my grounding years of 24 years as an entrepreneur taught me a lot lah. Because that time, you and only you can do anything, right?
Yes.
Whether your organization succeed or fail is all on your shoulder, right?
Yeah.
So you got to stay strong. You just got to plow through and move on. Yeah,
Right.
because failure is not an option, right?
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, so when you really go back to your experience as an entrepreneur and corporate, right? You mentioned that a few the D's and the P's and all those are similar things. In your own opinion, right? Because having you leading both sides of it, right? What's the biggest difference between these two groups of people?
Two groups of people.
Yeah, the entrepreneurs and the corporate workers. What's the most distinct difference while leading these two groups?
Wow. Okay, let me think a little bit about it. There are definitely two distinct groups. Yeah. Because when you're working on the corporate side, a lot of people are salaried. So sometimes they come in with the attitude that they will do the minimum for the salary to be paid in. Right?
Okay.
And even though I work so much harder, how much can they pay me more next year? Yeah, so their mentality is always minimalist, I think. Maybe that's the word. Yeah? Only those people who can see through this and still have the entrepreneurship and say, no, I will do whatever I can to shine, do well. And of course, they will climb the corporate ladder much better. It's just like my mother used to tell me this. He said, always remember this. Do more than what you're paid to do. And eventually you'll be paid more for what you do.
I heard that. We heard that.
Yeah, that's the wise words, right?
Yeah.
So you got to always shine in that sense in the corporate world. But I don't see people putting a lot of effort to shine. So, but those people who do, that's when we call them talents.
Right.
Yeah. When you look at the entrepreneur world, it's by default you better shine. Yeah, because you start with nothing.
Yes.
And you got to work for your income.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So if you do nothing and you do minimally, then unfortunately you're going to be a minimally average producer.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So the entrepreneur world is different in the sense that when you join the entrepreneur world, you must want to be at the top.
I see.
You got to climb.
Because you have the goal.
You got it. And that's the purpose, right? If I come to you and say, listen, basically this job, unlimited income, do as best as you can. Then why do you aim so low?
You go for it, you should maximize. Sky's the limit.
Correct. So in the entrepreneur world, you got to maximize. You cannot minimize.
Right.
You got to really maximize all the effort that you, so that's what I mean by you must climb your mountain.
So when you say that, right, we talk about the differences, the corporate world doing a little bit more minimal, right? And entrepreneur, you must be doing a lot more to maximize your income.
Yeah.
But that said, when you're doing things over and over again, whether it's a corporate entrepreneur, how do you maintain focus and the drive there?
How did you... Okay.
How do you keep on maintaining the focus of that target, that's the goal, and drive? Because you don't see results in 2 days. You see results across months and even years.
Yeah. So it comes back to the saying, if you focus on your goal, you don't see your obstacles. Yeah. So your eyes must be on the goal, and your goal must be always evolving and changing.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't be complacent. The worst thing that happens to talented people is they become complacent.
Right.
Yeah. And in the organization, also the same, corporate organization.
Right.
Once the management team becomes complacent, they will go downhill. And you have heard of many corporations that close or go bust and all that.
Yes.
Because they have gone complacent. So I think for me, I always remind myself 2 things. One, don't be complacent. 2, don't stay in my comfort zone. You cannot stay in comfort zone.
I see.
You got to keep on pushing and see how far you can go. Yeah, so that's why I say that in my entrepreneur years, it trained me to do that. Keep on pushing for growth.
Right.
Pushing for, climb a higher mountain and all that. Yeah. I remember one person told me, he said that in the entrepreneur world, you must always climb the mountain to be at the top. Don't stay in the valley. The valley is very crowded. Which is true. The valley is where everybody is.
Yeah, it's sheltered from wind and everything else.
Everybody is there, right? At the valley of the mountain, right? But how many will climb the top, the top, right? So your journey of your life is always making sure that you are your better self.
Yep.
And that's why we say that Best of Me is so good. We coach people, we mentor people and try to bring out the best version of yourself. Yeah.
Right. So that's it. That's the human factor of things, right?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about processes and systems, right? How important are those?
Super important. Everything is running on a system.
Do you have any set examples that without a process or systems, things actually failed? Or because of a set process or systems, things was very, very smooth?
For sure. You don't have to take insurance as an example. You just look at Singapore, right? Today, taking a bus is so efficient because the process and system is so superior.
Yeah.
From the app, you know how many more minutes the bus will come to the bus stop. All right? And your journey is going to be how long? Right? And all this. Last time in the past, you just stand at the bus stop and just keep waiting.
Yes, that's right.
And you don't know what's going to happen.
That's right.
When the bus will come, what time, and will it ever come, and how long is your journey and all that. But now we see with all so much system, digitalization, we become more efficient. So in corporate also is the same. Everything is SOP, standard operating procedure, we call it, right?
Okay.
And that's how you get better, you see, because once you have a fixed pattern of work, you know where's your gap, where's your weakness, where's your strength, and you can improve the process.
Right.
But can you imagine everything is so flexible? Then I ask you, how to improve?
True.
Because there's so many permutations, right? There's no fixed way of doing something, right?
Yes.
So I look at agency building also must have system, because once you have system, you know where to improve. Where's pain points? Where are the things that which lever will give you more results? Yeah. And when the corporate world is the same, we look at all the processes and the system and ask ourselves this question: which one must I improve to move the needle, the performance needle?
Right.
Yep. But can you imagine the whole company is haywire? Everybody is doing anything. How to improve?
So would you recommend a young entrepreneur to actually start mapping out their processes, look into the data points?
Okay, for a young person entrepreneur coming out, their system is actually habits. System is habits, right? First you make your habits, then your habits make you, right? So how do you work as an entrepreneur is all systems and habits.
Okay.
Your habits are what time you wake up, what time you go to work, what you do, what keeps you occupied the whole day, right? How do you get the best out of the day?
Right.
Those are all habits. And after a while, you formulate your habits and system.
I see.
Just like for example, if you want to train yourself to be a marathoner, a runner, you can't run to 10 kilometers straight away, right?
You can't.
You
build up.
you got to build it up from 500 meter to 1 kilometer to 2 kilometer. Then slowly one day, I can do 10.
Yes, that's right.
So you're creating your system and habits and build the necessary muscles and stamina so that you can run for the long term. So business is about the same. You're building a lot of muscles, systems, habits in order to bring you to the long-term objective, the goal. Yeah.
So a lot of our young ones, when they come up with habits and all, we have this saying, you are the average of the 5% you mix with, right?
Yeah.
How true is that? Whether is it in the corporate or is it in the entrepreneur side of things?
Yeah, I think it's very true. Be careful of who you mix with because chances are you will create the habits for you, right? And the other saying, of course, make sure you're mixing with good people because your life will depend on it. Yeah. So, I always encourage people to mix with good people because the positive mindset people will give you a lot of confidence and also like your fan club to make sure that you're on the right track and doing well.
So that's it with your own journey, right?
Yeah.
How is your support system like? Your families?
Actually, interesting question. When I first started as an insurance agent, I think I'm the only support for myself.
Oh, really? So no one supported you?
Because everybody asked me, why you go in insurance? You shouldn't, you go crazy or what? So everybody disagrees with my decision. Yeah. Very interestingly, me, my parents, my brothers, sisters, and everybody, my friends. But as I believe in what I'm doing and the product that I'm selling, like I say, do good, and I want to do good, I started to preach it more often, and slowly but surely, I gained a lot of success, a lot of results. And I turned non-believer to be believer.
Right.
So my parents say, hey, no, you're doing well, not bad, and all that. My brothers, sister, actually my sister joined the business after 3 years.
Oh,
Joined me.
After 3 years in the business.
After watching me succeed and develop. So you can see from here, I turned a lot of naysayers to be believers.
I see.
At first, everybody objected what I chose as my profession, right? But through the years, like I say, because of my resilience, determination, discipline, I showed that it can be done. Yeah. So I proved the success, and from there, I think it attracts a lot of people. So I in my career, when I look at all the successful insurance agencies, right, agency leaders, when they do well, they attract a lot of people to join them because they demonstrate that it can be done.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why it's attractive. They also want to follow you and try to achieve your success that you have achieved.
So with that, right, when you first started off as insurance, you said that nobody believed you, there's a lot of naysayers, right?
Yeah.
How were you feeling then?
I just told myself that based on the system and formula, just do it. You will get the result. Just prove them wrong. Because the focus was very simple, right? If you see 10%, 3 will say yes to you, 7 will say no. So you must be prepared to take the 7 rejection so that you get the 3 yes. So I told myself, do I want to take rejection in order to get success? I think it's okay. That's the price you pay. Right. Yeah, for taking rejection to get your success. And your success is meaningful because that 3 success that says yes, you have secured your family,
right?
Provide financial security, right?
Yes.
You feel good. So the 7 that said no, I just pray that hope for the best.
Okay.
They will take care of themselves.
Yeah.
So you just keep going. And I believe that it's like a number game, right? Formula, right? If I can do 300 people, I will get 100 yes. 300 will say no, never mind. 200 will say no, right? Yes. 300 people, 100 say yes, 200 say no, never mind. Just go on. And you know what? The formula works.
Right.
It works.
So that's it, right? If you were to turn back time now, or rather the older self you now, were to go back time to the younger self you, right? What will you tell him?
I think what I will do will be most likely the same. The only thing that I will only improve the process. Yeah, but what you do is going to be the same. You still need to see the people. You still need to get rejection in order to get sales. But maybe you can do it better, smarter, but you still have to do it. There's no shortcut.
I see.
There's no shortcut.
So there's no shortcut. You still must do the grind. You still must do the hard work.
Yes.
All.
Because how do you earn a reputation? You earn your reputation by having achievements.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like, for example, why did they headhunt me or coax me to go to the corporate world? Because of my track record. If you got no track record,
there's your whole resume actually.
Yeah. Do you think they will knock your door?
Yeah, that's for sure. No headhunters will come to you.
Yes,
no
the answer
chance.
is no.
Yeah.
So when you are building successes, your achievements, your goal, what you're in essence trying to do is you're building your resume, like they say, and as well as your track record. You must have a track record, right, of achievement.
I see. So when we come to this segment normally, right, because we talk about the young entrepreneurs who are lost and all, right? What sort of advice would you give them, right, who are people who are lost, who actually do not know whether or not they want to enter the entrepreneur world, whether or not they want to start off a corporate, right? They have no idea what clue in mind. What's one advice we give them actually?
Very difficult to give specific advice because everybody is different. Yeah, everybody is different. I think people must know what they want in life. Yeah, because success to many is different definition. Okay. So whether you go corporate or whether you want to entrepreneur, there's risk. Yeah. Because if you don't do well and push yourself to be the best version of yourself, maybe you cannot make ends meet. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. But I know that people who are confident and have strong self-belief, they will normally know how to do it, and they'll find a way. Yeah. On the corporate side, it's more steady, safer. Because with your education background, you will get certain basic pay already. Yeah, people pay you for your efforts. But in order to do well and climb, you got to really shine because there are a lot of people in the corporate world, right? Yeah. And a lot of times corporate world promotion or climbing the ladder is all by time and grade. How long you spend time in the job and what's your grading and all that.
And not merits, right?
Yeah, a lot.
More often than not.
So it's slower process. You cannot jump from bottom straight to the top within a year.
Right.
But surprisingly, entrepreneur world, you can, Yeah, I've seen young rookies come in the first year. After 1 year, top of the table, court of the table. Their income is what?
Directors level.
Yes, at the head of department level already,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that is wow, But it's not easy mountain to climb.
Right.
It takes a lot of tenacity, a lot of will and determination. But it's not impossible.
Right.
Yeah, it's up to you. What's your calling?
I see.
What do you tell yourself every morning you wake up? What's your calling, right?
So with that said, right, actually, what does success means to you then, Patrick? Whether is it in your life or your career?
Today or last time?
Today, maybe?
Today's, I think success is not about the material world. It's more about the legacy you leave behind. What do people know you for?
Right.
Yeah. How many people have you impact their lives or do good or help them or all those? But honestly, when you're young, financial freedom is the most important. You work hard for financial independence.
So that was your previous success factor.
Of course. You got to you want something so that maybe you, your family, your loved ones are all taken care of. Yeah.
Right.
But once you achieve financial freedom and all that, just like a Maslow hierarchy of needs, right? You go into a more self-actualization phase, and then you say, okay, what can I give back?
I see.
So different success means different thing in your journey through life. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people today, they just want to give back. It's not about the money anymore. It's just what can I do to help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know I probably covered this topic previously at the start, right?
Yeah.
But I still must ask you for clarity here.
Okay.
Right? Is what sort of qualities or mindset actually do you believe, right, that a person needs, right, for their long-term success, be it in the corporate world or entrepreneurship world?
You must have the winner's mindset.
Winner's mindset.
Yeah, winner's mindset. Winner's mindset is not something uncommon. It's just the way you think.
Right.
Like if you ask me what's a winner mindset, winner mindset is you want to get to win championship and you don't mind putting the sacrifice to train yourself to be a champion. Yeah. What's a winner mindset? Winner mindset is you don't give up.
Okay.
Yeah. You see opportunity rather than difficulty. That's a winner's mindset.
Right.
When some situation appears, firstly, you see opportunity or you see difficulty.
I see.
Losers see difficulty. Winners see opportunity. Winners say, I can do it.
Right.
Losers say, I cannot do it.
I see.
So the winner's mindset is a can-do spirit.
Can-do spirit lah.
The mindset must be always, because when you see something, you must see like a, very interestingly, I ask people, you have a big white piece of paper, right? Then you put a black dot there, right? Then ask them, what did you see? People always say, I see the black dot.
But not a white piece of paper.
Yeah, the white piece of paper is 98%
Right.
or 99%.
Yes.
But you see the black dot.
Right.
So sometimes people say, I can't see the success. But actually, there's a lot of opportunity around it you didn't see.
It's too narrow-minded in a sense.
Yeah. So the winner's mindset is really a growth mindset.
I
That
see.
you will keep on saying it's possible, not impossible. It's possible. People can do it, so can I.
I see.
Right? Like for example, today you look at the insurance world. Thousands before you have done it.
Why not you?
Correct. Why not you? That's
Yeah.
a winner's mindset.
Yes, I see.
Because thousands before you have done it before already.
Then you can do it as well.
Correct.
There's a proven track record that's done.
There is. So you got to just follow the track.
I see.
Yeah.
Right. So in our every single podcast here, right, we actually ask somewhat similar to that, but somebody asks that if there is one word, right, that you give to all inspiring young entrepreneurs out there, what would it be and why?
I think I won't say one word. Can I say two?
Sure. Would that be winner's mindset as well?
No, not winner's mindset. Choose wisely.
Choose wisely. Why?
Yeah, why, right? Choose
Yeah.
wisely. Because your life is all about choices, right? Like, for example, you can choose to be positive or you can choose to be negative.
I see.
You can choose to see the opportunity or you choose to see the difficulty.
Yeah.
You can see sunshine or you can see rain. So when I say choose wisely, every day you're facing a lot of situations. How do you see the world and yourself? Choose it wisely.
The choice that you make.
Yes, all the choices. That's why they say, if it's to be, it's up to me. Correct. And why is it up to you? Because of the choices you make. Right? So if you choose to be more hardworking rather than lazy, you make a good choice. If you choose to work 2-3 hours more and rather than not,
Yes.
you choose wisely.
Yeah.
You choose to wake up in the morning and exercise so you feel rejuvenated. You choose wisely rather than not. So choose wisely.
So all your habits, your goals, your strategies, all goes back to choosing wisely.
Yes. You see, because all the choices you make every day eventually becomes you.
Yes, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I find that sometimes we choose or make decisions wrongly, choose wrongly, and that's why we go to a path of downhill path rather than uphill path. Yeah.
So as we end off this podcast, right, maybe I'll ask you, right, to leave any of our young listeners out there, right, a few words of encouragement, right, or mantra, right, that's out of it, right, to keep them motivated, right, in their own paths. Is there anything that you had to add on?
Life is full of surprises. Life is all ups and downs. Yeah. in order to enjoy your life, you just make sure you have more ups rather than downs. So whenever you're down, just pick yourself up and move on. Right? Just look at stock market, right? Always down, it will come up.
Eventually.
Eventually.
It doesn't matter when.
Correct. So that is the same for human beings in your life, right?
Right.
When you have a down period, don't let it keep you down.
All right.
Do whatever you can to improve, to make changes, and to be more resilient and bounce back and change your trajectory upwards. Yeah. And that brings me back to the same point. Choose wisely. What do you want? Yeah, what do you want, right?
Yeah, what do you want?
Well, what do you want to happen? And you are the architect
of your own life.
Correct. So what do you want to happen? So sometimes I feel that people are living their life by default. But rather, shouldn't you create your future yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. So all the young listeners listening in, I think your life is all what you make it to be. You're the author, you're the architect. So please write a good story. Right?
You carve out your own path.
Yeah, your own story.
Yeah.
Your story can be unique to yourself, different path, but it's still exciting, adventure, and importantly, happy ever after.
That's for sure.
That's the end part.
Yeah.
Happy ever after, right?
Yeah.
So if you have that in mind, wow, it's so wonderful, right? That you are going to make sure every day is a good chapter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. And you wake up happy running for the things that you're running.
Yeah. So the other things that all you do, the work and your challenges and all, is part and parcel of writing your adventure and your story. That's all. But remember the end point. Happy ever after.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Patrick, for coming down today.
Yeah, I hope so. And I hope you and your audience have benefited from my sharing.
Definitely. It's a whole lot of information to digest. We'll probably rewind it and look at all the information there.
Okay.
Right, thank you for all your insight. Thank you for your wisdom.
All right. Thank you.
And that's Patrick. A huge thank you to you, Patrick, for sharing your invaluable experience and wisdom with us. I hope Patrick's story has shown you the power of resilience, innovation, and unwavering leadership in the ever-evolving world of insurance and beyond. To our aspiring young entrepreneurs out there and seasoned professionals alike, we hope today's episode has left you inspired and ready to write your own success story one bold step at a time. I hope this podcast has ignited your mission. Do join us for more no bullshit stories from successful individuals on Mission Ignite. Hi guys, thank you for listening. If you like what you have just heard, follow us for more content like this.